Hey guys, Yuri K here. In today's video, I will be discussing the vegan diet and whether or not it will work for you. So first, let's begin by describing what exactly a vegan diet is. And this is a diet that is completely devoid of all animal food products. So basically, it contains no meats, no dairies, no seafood, and only includes fruits, vegetables, oils, and grains. Vegan diets have been all the rage lately due to supporters' claims of promoting good health, while people who participate in them have their own specific reasons. For example, they may do it out of animal activism in order to support anti cruelty to animals and also for religious reasons as well. So today I will share with you my views about the pros and cons of the vegan diet. And before beginning this diet, I think you should do all your own research and take it very seriously because this is going to be a major step and undertaking in your own life. As we are well aware, the modern Western diet is the culprit for many of the health problems that we, the Americans, currently experience. The diet consisting of highly processed and refined foods, high in trans fats, various additives, and chemicals, is the main reason why we experience most of the health problems that we do today in the westernized world. So there is no question that the fundamental philosophy of going vegan by eliminating a lot of these types of foods can make us healthier. However, there's more to it than that. So going on a vegan diet, which is primarily plant-based, you will definitely reap the benefits of consuming lots of fresh fruits and vegetables because of their high vitamin and mineral content, as well as being rich in antioxidants. So clearly, there are very good health benefits by focusing on these types of foods. In addition, you will probably be eliminating simple processed flours like white flour, which are some of the main contributing factors towards obesity and heart disease. Eliminating meats, which of course in excess quantities can produce a lot of oxidative stress on the body by producing free radicals. Eliminating seafood, also eliminating eggs, as well as all forms of dairy products. And of course, when it comes to milk, the milk that we drink here in the US is pasteurized and homogenized and is completely devoid of any healthy gut bacteria, that is probiotics, and has lactose. And many people are in fact lactose sensitive and even lactose intolerant. So by following a vegan diet, you will generally be consuming much less calories than you would on a regular diet, which is going to help you lose weight in the beginning and may even help improve your cardiovascular profile, that is, improve your heart health. The elimination of processed simple flours such as white flour and providing an abundance of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, which will promote health and well-being overall. Now, this is where the benefits of a vegan diet end, and I will now begin to tell you about the deficiencies of a vegan diet. One of the main issues of following a strict vegan diet is that you will become nutritionally deficient in certain areas because certain kinds of vitamins can only be obtained from non-vegan sources. I'll give you some examples. Okay, the first vitamin that is critical to our health and well-being but is lacking in vegan diets is vitamin B12. And this vitamin is essential for the health and well-being of our central nervous system and proper brain function. Foods that are rich in vitamin B12 include various meats such as beef, poultry, that is chicken and turkey, as well as different fish such as salmon, trout, herring, mackerel, various kinds of seafood such as lobsters, crabs, shrimp, clams, mussels, oysters, shrimp, caviar, which are fish eggs, as well as certain dairy products such as butter, yogurt, and cheese. Since vegan diets are deficient in vitamin B12, it is very important for all vegans to consume a high quality vitamin B12 supplement. And this is especially important for pregnant and nursing women as well as children. Women in their condition require an increased amount of vitamin B12, but especially to pass down to their children as an essential nutrient. Children absolutely need vitamin B12 for the proper health and development of their central nervous system and brain. And studies have shown that children with vitamin B12 deficiencies can experience learning disability and even mental retardation in extreme cases. So for this very reason, it is absolutely critical for all vegans to consume a high quality vitamin B12 supplement. Alright, another vitamin that is lacking in vegan diets, but is very important for our health and well-being, particularly for our immune system, is vitamin D. Vitamin D can be found in a number of different fish, such as salmon, trout, herring, mackerel, as well as different seafoods such as lobster, crabs, shrimp, mussels, oysters, clams, and also in lesser amounts in some dairy products such as butter, cheese, and yogurts. Vitamin D can also be obtained by spending time outside in the sun, specifically by exposing your bare skin to direct sunlight for about 10 to 15 minutes a day. You're getting exposure to the healthy benefits of UVB rays, which are going to help create vitamin D in the body. The benefit from the sun can only be obtained during a seasonal time of the year for people living in northern climates, when the sun is located at a high enough angle in the atmosphere in order to provide this benefit, generally from late spring, throughout the summer, and through early fall. During other times, late fall, winter, and early spring, the angle of the sun is not high enough and strong enough to provide the benefit of helping the body to produce the vitamin D. If you live in a more southerly climate, then the sun is at a high enough angle during all or most of the year in order to get the vitamin D benefits in your body. So again, during the times when the sun is higher in the atmosphere, that's the only time when the sun is strong enough to help produce vitamin D in the body. When the sun is at a too low of an angle, the rays are simply not strong enough to give this effect. Again, this occurs in the northern latitudes, roughly from about 30 or 33 degrees latitudes and north, while locations south of this latitude can experience the benefits of the sun on a year-round basis. This is one of the main reasons why people living in northerly latitudes who do not have access to adequate sunlight during the colder months, and especially do not consume enough vitamin D in their foods, tend to get sick more often. It is no surprise that people in the wintertime, especially in the northerly areas, will get sick more frequently and will also tend to have more cases of sadness and depression, which is directly linked to a deficiency of vitamin D. It is for this reason that it is very important to get vitamin D from foods. Getting vitamin D from the sun is simply not enough. It is essential to consume foods that are rich in vitamin D, and for vegans who are not able to obtain vitamin D from foods, they're going to have to consume a high quality vitamin D supplement or some sort of fish or krill oil supplement to get that benefit. Another important fact to consider is that certain vitamins, such as vitamins A, D, E, and K, are known as fat-soluble vitamins. That is, they require the presence of fat in order to be broken down and assimilated in the body. The body cannot break down these kinds of fats adequately without the presence of fats. Now, as I mentioned, vitamin D cannot be obtained in a vegan diet from foods. However, vitamins A, E, and K can be obtained in a vegan diet. They are often found in an assortment of different fruits and vegetables. Now, when it comes to vegan diets tend to be low in fats, That is, they're very high in fruits and vegetables. They can also include certain kinds of healthy grains, such as quinoa. They may include rice, they may include sweet potatoes. Vegan diets, by their nature, tend to be high in carbohydrates, low in protein, and low in fats. Vegans consume plenty of fruits and vegetables, as well as healthy grains, for example, quinoa, and also fiber-rich foods such as beans. They may also consume rice, potatoes, and even sweet potatoes. All these foods are carbohydrate-rich foods. However, it is more difficult for a vegan to obtain a sufficient amount of protein. For example, protein-rich plant-based foods may include quinoa, again, beans, and nuts. However, as a total percentage of the vegan diet, these foods are a relatively small amount. Vegan diets will also tend to be low in fats, and I'm referring specifically to high quality fats that are essential for our cardiovascular health and for our immune system. I'm not talking about the dangerous trans fats and processed fats in the Western diet. Healthy fats, which can be found, for example, in coconut oil, olive oil, avocados, as well as nuts. However, again, as a percentage of the total vegan diet, it will be relatively small. So as you can see, most vegan diets will be skewed heavily in favor of carbohydrates and will have much lesser amounts of proteins and fats, which of course are very important for our health and well-being. By not consuming enough healthy fats, the fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K cannot be properly assimilated in the body, so now there's going to be a further nutritional deficiency by the lack of these vitamins. So as you can see, the main problem with vegan diets is nutritional inadequacy. That is, not getting the sufficient requirement that the body needs in terms of specific vitamins and nutrients. And this can negatively impact and harm the health of vegans. Also, due to the high carbohydrate content of most vegan diets, they can actually store more fat and have trouble losing weight and may even gain weight in the long run. As we know, eating too many carbohydrates is one of the leading causes of obesity as well as diabetes. Carbohydrates need to be mixed with sufficient quantities of protein in order to balance out the macronutrients, and proteins need to be balanced out with the right amount of fats. It's not good to be skewed too heavily in carbohydrates because this will have a negative effect on the body. I'm not saying to necessarily avoid carbohydrates altogether, but for most vegans, their diets are already too high in carbohydrates. Now, for people who are exercising, especially lifting weights, trying to build muscle or get stronger, it is much harder for a vegan, obviously, to build muscle and get stronger on this kind of diet because they're not getting, generally, sufficient amounts of protein and fats for the proper protein muscle synthesis. While the full spectrum of proteins can be obtained from certain foods, again, such as quinoa, in general, there will be too little protein in the diet of most vegans, and this will hinder them from gaining quality muscle and may even cause muscle loss. So what you find with most vegans is that while they may look slimmer, they're going to also have less muscle at the same time. They may even store a layer of fat that is very difficult to get rid of because they're not able to grow enough muscle in order to sufficiently boost the metabolism to burn that fat. Again, this is due primarily to the high carbohydrate content of most vegan diets.